Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, ODRK, the Overview, back at again with another video. And I gotta say, after a couple weeks saying that, oh, they're doing a Michael Jackson biopic and they're getting that started, I was like, okay, we're gonna actually get this thing going. And also, let me clarify a couple things I didn't get to mention in the first video, which, yes, this movie is coming out next year with Jaafar Jackson playing his late uncle Michael Jackson in a biopic. And I gotta say, first looking at him, I gotta say, I'm like, okay, it's part of the Jackson family. He has the look. Hopefully they could at least tell the whole story, which I don't even know if they're gonna do that. I was thinking, oh, they're gonna say this is a section of his life, this is the little things they're gonna do, and they're not gonna touch on all the controversy and stuff like that. But from the looks of these last couple pictures, I gotta say, they're gonna tell the whole story as is, and nothing is gonna be unchanged from it. One thing I was wondering about this whole thing was, are they gonna do the race thing? Where are they gonna touch on that little detail about Michael's, like whether they're going to do the same actor? And from the looks of this picture from Variety, I got to say, wow, because I did not expect them to do this, and it looks almost identical to the original in the Dangerous pose. I gotta say, the Dangerous era picture, I was like, oh, I'm convinced this is the real picture. Then the side is the comparison. Oh my god, that's the new one. Wow. I showed it to my dad and he even said, "Yeah, Michael Jackson." Until I showed him and told him, "Yeah, this is from a biopic. This is his nephew playing him." He was like, "What? Huh?" The impact of his music, man. And also, I was actually wondering about that and answered a question of mine too. A couple things got announced too, which I knew he was cast as Michael, but they didn't mention who else was going to be cast as Joe Jackson or his mother. But they actually got Neil Long as his mom and Coleman Domingo as his dad, which that couple right there, I gotta say, two of the best actors most recently working today, and especially Coleman Domingo. I gotta say, his version of Joe Jackson has got to be something from the way he's so smooth and elegant with his words. Not only that, but also his work on Fear the Walking Dead is gonna make me wonder: are they gonna touch on everything, like every little detail about his life? Because if they're gonna deal with Joe Jackson, that's another story entirely. What's most recently is that they're still filming it at the moment, and with these last couple pictures, I was wondering whether what pieces and aspect of his life they were going to test, because I knew they were going to go from the beginning with the Jackson 5, maybe him doing the Thriller album, the Billie Jean era, also the bad stuff. I don't even know if that was going to come into play until later on, but also these begin up the first couple set photos I like, which it kind of depicts two different eras at the same time, which the first one I'm going to talk about is this one, which you got to admit that's Billie Jean era. He has the hair, and also the way he looks in the makeup. I gotta say, for as much as identical and, let's say, photo accurate to the role, I gotta say they're doing as much care in this project as ever. And to be honest, I feel like this biopic stands out more than the other ones because at least this one they're staying too close to the person at heart. Yes, we had a couple like Elvis where Austin Butler had to, change his voice up a bit, even though he looked almost like Elvis. When Taron Egerton did Elton John for Rocketman, he even sung his own music and actually made it almost identical to the actual song. And it's funny because I remember him doing that for Sing when he played I'm Still Standing as the gorilla, and it's kind of a funny coincidence that he got cast as Elton John. So that little detail in itself, I just wanted to let out there. But with these photos, I gotta say, I like that. Even the off the wall tour, which I didn't know they were gonna touch on that too, because I know they was gonna start with the beginning, him going solo of the Rock with You, even the way he did the music video, which actually incorporated himself. But I see that they're gonna actually touch. I don't want to say almost Bohemian Rhapsody like, but it's like, and I keep saying like for some reason, the way they're going at this from the set photos, they're gonna touch on everything. Which, yes, we're gonna see a lot of the tours. We're gonna see a lot of the way some of the certain music videos were made. Like I know in Bohemian Rhapsody, we saw the way "I Want to Break Free" went out, the way they did Bohemian Rhapsody, the song itself, the way they sung it. And with this, I want to know how far committed are they to do this, because yes, he's been practicing with the dances and his music, and not gonna lie, there was a leaked song of his that got put out there. He didn't want to go out there just yet, but he almost sounded like Michael to the point where I'm like, wow, this is the voice of our generation, and that more people are gonna get to hear him live on Michael's legacy. But not only that, these photos actually make me wonder one thing, and it's the runtime, because I knew that they were going to do either a 2 hour or at least 2 hour 20-minute mark movie, but I wouldn't even be surprised if they did this with a 3 hour plus limit, because they're going to touch on every little thing. And I know they're not going to skip all the way through some of the bad stuff, because another movie that actually tried doing this was Straight Outta Compton, which every act of that movie structure dealt with a different member of the NWA group. With had Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Easy E. Each of them had their own section of the movie from the beginning, the middle, and the end. So I'm wondering if they're gonna actually do the thing where the beginning is gonna be the Jackson 5 era, starting up with him actually going to Off the Wall. Then it's gonna transition to Billie Jean Thriller album. Then with him dealing with the skin change and actually going into the bad era. And then after that, they can actually do their own story, since they're gonna have to touch on the real life aspect. Yes, it's gonna be a difficult thing for people to incorporate that into one singular movie, because if I'm being honest, that could have worked as a trilogy in itself, but biopics don't work like that. And weirdly enough, as I'm doing this, a Beatles biopic got announced, but there's going to be 4 different releases within the same year dealing with each member of the Beatles, which I don't know how that's going to play out, but that would be interesting to see. But with this, I have all the hope for it. This is coming out to be one of my most top anticipated of 2025, but let's see what the trailer could be, because we're going to get that by the end of the year, possibly. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. All my social media down in the description below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.